Video coming to you live. In this video, I'm going to talk about the lack of MPC3 software. As you know, as of now, they dropped officially MPC3 software right on your favorite MPC platform. But what they didn't do is that they did not release the software. And I had to take some time to think about it. I didn't want to just jump on that topic as soon as I heard about it because, of course, my first thoughts was, okay, that's cool. Where's the software at? There hasn't even been a public beta of the software. And I think that this is one of the places that Akai sort of kind of slipped. And I think that inside of the offices of Akai, there's an opportunity to really hit them off with something for the NAMM show, right? What do we got for the NAMM show? Well, that stuff for Native Instruments is done, so we can do that. How are we looking on the software, the MPC3 software? We got that standalone software. What about the desktop? Not so much. And I started to kind of feel this rift in between the two platforms, between hardware and desktop, when the beta started dropping, because the beta was so cool. And I think it was a very easy thing to get wrapped around. But I was like, well, hold on. What about the software? We all know that if you hook this up in controller mode to your computer, the display will go back to the 2-level software. And there are a lot of things that has to improve. There's a lot of things that have to improve. I'll be the first to tell you the most refined music production experience I've experienced is FL Studio. They've had time to really get that together. And of course, it's primarily a software-based platform and not a hardware-based platform. So the emphasis of the optimization of it all, I could see. But as far as the MPC2 software, when I first got on it, it was a better experience than when I first got on the machine because of the hardware aspect of it. But it still was not a very refined experience. Definitely wasn't a fan of the piano roll and navigating the plugins and stuff like that. It took me a while to really get to it, but the hardware is what kind of pushes you through whatever the shortcomings was with the software. You had dedicated hardware, and what I liked was that uniform experience between going standalone and then hooking up to your computer with desktop. You will get the same exact experience all times. I really like that. I like that uniform movement. And then when the beta 3 came out, now we're in separate places. We got 3 here, but we're still at, and so that uniformity that I'd grown accustomed to went away, because it's like, okay, there's a different mindset. There's a different way you got to look at things on standalone versus how you got to look at the desktop. And, you know, I think that's probably where they might have made a mistake. And from what I could see, of what I see from other YouTubers like Bolo and Ave, my impression is that people are really impatient about this process. And I understand, you know, what's the whole point? Why y'all doing that, you know? But the impression that I'm getting is that a lot of people are just very impatient. I think the MPC community is a tough one to serve. It's a tough one to please. I could group myself in that group because it's like, okay, yeah, I want to be the. Nah. So I think Akai probably has a lot of work to do to catch up with it. And if they want it to be successful, it has to be much better than the 2 software. And that's probably why it takes so long. You have to really make that piano roll. That piano roll's got to be nice. Not to mention, and I'll get to the DAW stuff later, but the piano roll needs to be nice. The software has to be elegant more than what it was in the past. The software needs to be in a place where I can just kind of go and not really work around it. Though I do know how to work around things, and that's part of my thing. Yeah, work around it. Great anyway. It would be nice to have to do that less moving forward. But there's a lot of things that they got to do to really make it work. Like, I'm really impressed with like the key group thing on there. There's a whole lot of stuff on there I didn't really see too many people talk about. I may talk about that in another video. But I didn't really see people talk about that too much. But I was thinking the plugin scanning, that works. But I'm thinking about software-wise. We got to kill that red thing, that red and black thing. We got to let that go. We need more neutral colors. Give me a gray, or like Ableton isn't hard on the eyes, right? It's primarily gray, and I guess you can customize it. And then FL Studio, you can have whatever color you want. I've seen some crazy color schemes on FL Studio. But and then also that piano roll, and it's a far cry, but that piano roll has to be. If I were calling the shots at Akai, if I were a company coach for Akai, and they said, Delio, what do you think about this music software? What do you think would help us compete more on a global standpoint from a software perspective? I think that the first things I would talk about is not the sequencer, because I enjoy the sequencer, and having these buttons here works with that sequencer great. But that piano roll experience is not as good as it could be. And I come from a place of criticism with that because of my experience with FL Studio. Like, I still know how to use FL Studio. I still mess with that. And the way that piano roll just moves, you just whatever you want to do. Oh, there's a tool for it. You want a chord, you want to strum, you can do whatever you want to do. And it's like butter. Like piano roll, it's like, can't nobody touch that piano roll right now. But as far as hardware is concerned, nobody can touch it on the Akai side for making beats. So there's that trade-off. So those are some things that I think Akai needs to do. But I think Akai may have made a mistake in putting out the software or putting out this hardware thing without really making sure that the uniform software. I think they should always go together. That software hardware thing, that's what got me in the door. And what kept me there and kept me interested, okay, your DAW is updated, your firmware is updated. Or your software is updated, your firmware is updated. It all was unified. And now we're not unified. We're 3 in standalone, but we're still in 2. And so I said, okay, well, if we're not going to advance that, I could keep working with the software. And when I get my studio back set up, I'll probably do it that way. But in the meantime, I'm probably going to just work standalone on here for a while and just get to know it as a standalone and live inside the limitations of standalone and just get back to, and why stop hooking this up to a computer? Because I want to create. I just want to create. I just want to be a creative music producer. It's more important to me to make music than to have things exactly the way I want them right now, because life isn't fair and things ain't going to be always the way you want. So, but at the same time, I'm not crying. I'm not suffering because I'm in standalone in 3. It's not the end of the world. So yeah, I think that Akai needs to get caught up on that software. My personal opinion, take as much time. I'd rather Akai, and I know that this isn't popular opinion, but I'd rather Akai take their time to make something that's more refined and less buggy, that's more tested, than to drop out stuff. And I get it, people want stuff out fast, but the trade-off is when you want stuff out fast, it's not done, and then now you got bugs and issues, right? So yeah, but that's my thoughts on MPC3 software. I really think that Akai needs to catch up on that, and I think they will, but only time will tell. All right, you're watching Delio T2K. If you like this type of content, or subscribe. I'm thinking of so much stuff at the same time, but please subscribe to this channel if you like this type of content. I'm gonna keep filming until I get my stuff set back up. But in the meantime, I'm probably gonna shoot videos like this. So chime in. Or what they say, tap in, dog. All right, I'll see you on the next video.